coming in at number 79, we have Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Adam Thielen. And this one is particularly interesting to me because I feel like on one hand, we're going to have a lot of Vikings fans saying, how is he so low on this list? He needs to be much higher than wide receiver 9. He's one of the best wide receivers in the league, right? But then on the other hand, you're going to have the other 31 fan bases saying this man shouldn't even be on the list at all. He barely played last year. And I hear that argument as well. All I can say, though, is this isn't strictly a 2019 top performers list, nor is it a future projection list. It's a who are the best players in the league today, right now. And if you want to hear me go in depth with that criteria and fully flesh it out, click the link above my head where I try and make it as clear as possible in terms of what I'm grading these guys on. But with Thielen, it's a sticky situation because, I was trying to think of a good way to explain this to you guys. Well, essentially, imagine that every snap Adam Thielen's played in his NFL career is a point of data on a massive graph, right? And on a list like this where we're trying to determine who are the best players in the league, every single player, all 2,000 of them, they have their own massive graphs, right? Well, considering it's July 2020 when I made this list, or on the 4th of July when I'm posting this video, what data points are the most heavily weighted or the most important ones? Well, it's the ones from 2019. And then what are the second most? It's 2018, 17, 16, etc. And that kind of continues until there's no more data points left, right? Well, with Thielen, he's in that rough spot where almost all of his 2019 data points are missing or hampered by those hamstring injuries, but at the same time, he has great data points from 2018, 17, and 16. So what does that kind of manifest as on the list? It means that I can't penalize him for having a freak injury and taking off completely, but I also can't penalize the rest of the guys in the league for him not having those data points and him not playing those snaps and playing those games, right? So essentially that means he's going to be number 79 for now, but if he comes back next year, and especially without Stephon Diggs, if he has a crazy year, he could easily shoot up back to where he belongs in a sense, but if not, then he'll most likely take a step back. So that's kind of how I picture it. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. If it doesn't, just ask me a question in the comment section below. But with that being said, let's get into what makes him so special and worthy of that 79 spot. In terms of what Adam Thielen does so well that makes him special, there's really nothing in particular, which is kind of strange. You think of Tyreek Hill, for example, right? Well, he just has that crazy speed that a lot of people think makes him just a deep threat, right? And that's what sets him apart from the league. Well, Adam Thielen, he doesn't have that one or two skills that set him apart from everybody. Instead, he's just really balanced at everything. And I would say he's almost in that like B+ to A- range at every facet of the game that you could ask a receiver to do. So essentially what we're going to do here is we're going to break down every facet of the game. And we're going to show you how Adam Thielen fares kind of against his peers. And what you're going to see is he fares pretty well because, as I said, he's very solid at all of them. So first things first, we have his release. How does he get off the line of scrimmage? Well, here's an example of him going up against Ahkello Witherspoon of the 49ers, where what you're going to see is he keeps Ahkello guessing. He's going to take a step vertical, and then he's going to really jab hard outside with that left foot and force Ahkello to kind of readjust his body and react just in case there is going to be a streak or some sort of out route or something to the outside, whereas instead it's actually just a quick jab and come back inside for the easy slant route. And it's plays like these where, these were commonplace in the Amari Cooper video or the Keenan Allen video. Well with Thielen, he's right there, but maybe he's not utilizing these releases on every play, if that makes sense. That's why I say he's like in the B+ to A- range, whereas those guys are A+, And here you're just going to see it again, right? He hauls in the catch and is able to eat that hit for a first down. And, it's just a nice play. And here's another really good example. This time it's against the Saints in 2018, right? So what we're going to see here is obviously on the goal line, Thielen's lined up in this right slot. And what you have off the snap is he's going to, again, utilize that hard jab, this time with his right foot, to try and sell the cornerback on him releasing to the outside. And as a result, he gets the cornerback out of position, and he's able to hit a real nice swim move to kind of come back across over the middle and get really an easy play against this man coverage cover zero look. And it just plays like that where Thielen's beating guys off the jump with his release that are so impressive because, again, he's not just a pure route runner. He also has a wide variety of ways to beat you, but when he can beat you like this as well, he's just super dangerous. And adding to the list of ways that Thielen will get separation on you, here he is going to be running kind of I'll call it a modified corner post route. So, what this is going to look like typically is you're going to release vertically and then cut it outside as if you're running it towards that pylon, but then then just as you're able to sell the defender on, okay, that's definitely a corner route, you cut it back inside across the middle on a post. Well, Thielen, I call it modified because he starts the route on a weird kind of angular path, to which it almost adds another element to the double move, because now you initially think it's an inside release off the snap. So then you have to adjust to that, come back out, and then Thielen's going to break him off back inside. And as a result, you're just going to see Raiders defensive back Ken Crawley here just completely lost, right? And as a result, at one point there, he ends up holding him for a little bit, and Thielen's still able to generate just enough separation to really get in the end zone. And it's just plays like that where he keeps you guessing. Initially it looks like he's going inside, and then foot in the ground, outside. Just when you buy that and you think it's a corner, boom, back inside, 4 post, and an easy Vikings touchdown. And here's another really good one. This time you're going to see Thielen off the snap. He's going to run kind of straight at this defender, right? And then right as he approaches him, you're going to see him fire his feet real quick, and essentially, the defender, he has to play a guessing game in his head. Is he going left, right, left, right, left, right? And while you're guessing, he's going. And as a result, he's able to plant with that right foot, cut up field, and go on almost like a fade route into the end zone and make a nice catch for, again, just an easy 6 points that he wouldn't have been able to get otherwise if it wasn't for that route running and ability to create just a hair of separation to where Kirk Cousins can fit the ball in there for a touchdown. And now that we have the release, we have the route running, I want to talk about Thielen's ability to not lose any speed downfield and maintain that separation as he tracks the ball and hauls in the catch. Because to me, it's just really impressive when a lot of guys, you see them hesitating, slowing down, and having to look multiple times over each shoulder before they make this grab. Well, Thielen, he's able to do it without losing any speed. And it's integral on this play where, again, he doesn't have much separation, but that little bit that he has, he's able to maintain from Patrick Robinson and Marcus Williams as he's able to haul in the grab and put the Vikings right on the goal line. And continuing with the trend, now that he's at that catch point, he's located the ball. I want to talk about something that's integral to him hauling it in and securing the catch. It's his body control. And, man, Thielen is one of the absolute best in the league at being able to make his lower body just go dead and drag his toes in on these spectacular sideline and, in this case, back of the end zone catches. As, you see it on the picture to the left. He's inches away from going out of bounds, yet he's able to just instinctively just let that lower body go as soon as he knows the ball's in his hands and pull in a grab. Unfortunately, on this play, I believe it was actually the one he hurt his hamstring on initially as he kind of rolls into the wall. But still, it's a great effort to make a great play on a ball in the end zone and put points on the board against the Lions. And here's another great example. This time it's against the Eagles and Sidney Jones, in which, honestly, I almost put this in the route running section because it is just a nasty double move. But I decided to put it here under body control because look at how, even though he does have that separation, how he's still able to, fend off the defender behind him and be cognizant of the sidelines in front of him. And again, as soon as he feels that ball in his hands, just let those legs go dead and drag his toes in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. And I guess almost an extension of body control is your hands and just your ability to toss them out there at the catch point and haul in these grabs. And Thielen's able to do it not only with the routine well-thrown balls, but also passes like this that are, towards the ground. He has to lay out and almost fully extend his arms to grab it, but he's able to. And he's able to do it on a very consistent basis as well. You're talking about a guy who in 2 of the past 4 years, he's had catch percentages of 73.9 and 75% of his targets, which, again, no, that's not quite like Michael Thomas in the mid-80s, but, again, it's right in that top 5, top range, and it's just another area where Thielen's in that B+ to A- range that makes him so special. And here is another really solid example of it, this time against the Giants and DeAndre Baker, and what you're going to see is Thielen cuts inside in the back of the end zone, and even though Baker's draped all over him and might have been a little bit early on contact, if we're being honest, Thielen's able to just concentrate and focus on hauling in that grab and just toss his hands up way above his head. And even though he's essentially being tackled before the ball gets there by Baker, he's able to have the body control, have the concentration, and ultimately the hands to haul it in a natural progression from kind of that last one where he had to extend his arms fully above his head to make the play on DeAndre Baker. Well, this time you're going to see the same thing against Lattimore, except he also has to time a jump perfectly to go up and high point the ball above his head. And it's just wildly impressive because, again, he's probably not one of the league's best at it, but it's just another tool that he has in his tool belt that he can pull out at that catch point to secure the ball. And it's just wildly impressive. Thielen, he used to be a basketball player, and really what this looks like to me is him putting those skills into action, where he's essentially just using his body to box out Lattimore and go up for a board off the glass. And you know, he might not pull this out every single game, but man, when he does, it's incredibly impressive. And I guess I kind of contradicted myself, because here is another one actually from that very same game against Marcus Lattimore yet again. And, you know, what you're going to see here is him starting to put everything together. It's going to be a nice release off the line of scrimmage as he takes a hard jab with that right foot to the outside, makes Lattimore hesitate for a second because, you know, he might have to bail out deep. Well, actually, he's going to cut it back inside to the left, and then you're going to see him kind of weave in and then weave out, you know, just keeping Lattimore guessing, is it an inside or is it an outside breaking route? Well, then, you know, once he breaks it outside, he's able to just go up, climb the ladder, and haul in this pretty high pass thrown by Case Keenum. But it's just that ability that he offers at the catch point that, no, maybe he's not pulling out every time, but it's another tool that he has in his bag ready to use when necessary. And it's just another thing that makes Thielen so impressive. And in case you thought I was joking when I said we were going to cover virtually everything, now that he's made the catch, we're going to talk about, last but not least, his ability to make plays on the ground after the catch. And again, it's not Thielen's strong suit, but give him a little bit of space and he can make great plays. We're going to have him here on the wide receiver screen. This one is from 2018, but you just see him put on the jets and outrun essentially 4 Seahawks defenders when, again, a guy who's making these high point catches or beautiful possession catches, diving and dragging his feet in the end zone. You often don't see them having just this combination of skills. And it's really exciting to watch, because Thielen is a unique receiver in that sense, because he is just so balanced and so kind of well put together overall. And I decided to toss this last one on here just as a reminder of how dynamic Thielen can be once the ball is in his hands and he's transitioning from receiver to runner. You know, after having only seen 10 targets post week 6 last year, and then, you know, having come back for those 2 playoff games, it seemed like Thielen was being severely handicapped by those injuries. Obviously, he was essentially just a possession receiver who would get a little bit of separation and then as soon as he catches the ball, go down immediately. Well, when in reality, when he's fully healthy, that's not Thielen's game at all. You know, he's actually quite dynamic on the ground, as what you're going to see here. He hauls in this ball at their own 28-yard line and then makes a guy miss, makes another guy miss, and is able to completely flip the field and put the Vikings on the Giants' 42-yard line. And it's really plays like these that are going to be incredibly important to the Vikings offense now, having lost Stephon Diggs. Obviously, you add Justin Jefferson in the draft, but I think for this Vikings team to really remain atop the NFC North, or at least in the top 2 in the NFC North between them and Green Bay, I think you're going to need to see Thielen kind of add this dynamic back to his game, which I assume he will now that he's fully healthy, and hopefully will be climbing up my list again in 2020. And as always, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you leave a like, but also leave a comment down below. You know, tell me, how do you think I did in terms of just evaluating what Thielen does so special? Or you know, tell me, do you think I rated him too high, rated him too low, or did I have him just right, all things considered? As well as, how do you think he'll do in 2020? You know, it's going to be a big difference playing alongside a rookie in Justin Jefferson opposed to Stephon Diggs, who's been one of the most consistent producers in the NFL. So honestly, I think that if he is able to be fully healthy, I think that he'll still be in a good spot and likely moving up this list next season, as long as he's able to, as I said, avoid injuries and put up some good production. But tell me, what do you think? You know, obviously it's an interesting question considering this Vikings team, you know, they've lost a lot of pieces on defense. Now maybe they're going to look to the offense to carry him, and a lot of that's going to come on Thielen, you know. So with that being said, though, if you did enjoy this video today, if you are a Vikings fan, or, you know, if you're just new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. You know, there's going to be not only a couple more Vikings in this series, but there's going to be a bunch more videos in this series. You know, if he's 79, that means we have 78 more remaining, and I'm enjoying putting these out for you guys. Hopefully you're enjoying them as well. But with that being said, I'm mic'd up, and I'm mic'ing out. Peace, guys.